You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and do best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never. Say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever.
Regardless, I just feel bad for the Wizards, and I feel bad for the Pelicans. It just, I mean, for the Wizards, for the Pelicans, for the Jazz, like it just sucks, man. You stink all year, and you have all this hope. Like there's pros and cons to the flattened lottery odds, man. Like you still didn't win 20 games. Like you didn't win 10 or 11 or 12 like the process Sixers, but it was an ugly year, and then you get rewarded like this. Kind of sucks, man. It's harder to get good again with these flattened odds. Let's move on to the number 7 pick in the draft, the New Orleans Pelicans. I have them taking Jeremiah Fears. I actually like the Fears pick for the Pelicans. This is one of the first selections where I feel like I can talk enthusiastically about the fit here. We saw Zion Williamson on stage for the Pelicans tonight. I don't know if that suggests anything, but in theory, you got Zion, you got Trey Murphy, you got Herb Jones, a bunch of big wing defenders and playmaker like Zion, creator like Zion. What you need is a point guard, and Jeremiah Fears is such a good creator, man. He hit 44.1% of his mid-range jumpers last season, 50% of his floaters, over 80% of his free throws. He only shot a 28.4% from three. But I think this guy, I'm a believer in his jumper. He measured small, he's still only 6'2", but ultimately he's not like a 5'11" guard. He's still got size. He's got strength. He's a great finisher around the basket. To me, a Jeremiah Fears, Zion Williamson, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, yada, yada, yada core, that gets pretty interesting for New Orleans. It gets pretty interesting, a lot more promising than maybe you'd expect for a team that might feel some disappointment with where they're going to end up picking here. Let's move on to the...
All right. For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican post-game report. Shout out to the fans. Appreciate y'all being in the live, man. This is NBA lottery time as the Pelicans. That's right. The New Orleans Pelicans dropped 3 spots in the draft, fam. They dropped 3 spots and will pick 7th in the draft. And it's a lot of people. That's the game that you play as well. And you guys are absolutely right. This is why we don't like it. The Dallas Mavericks trade of Luka Doncic did not make sense. It did not make sense at all to send him out to LA, but this is how these people play around and maneuver and manipulate. And of course, you have these NBA people telling you that that's simply not the case. Don't believe your lying eyes. This was definitely one of the most rigged drafts I've seen in a very long time. Dallas ended up getting the first pick. They sent Luka Doncic out, and they ended up with flag. Please. This is the kind of crap we got to deal with professional sports. It's just what it is in America. And if money's involved in these sports, they're going to rig the hell out of it. I never really trusted the NBA lottery system. We all know it's a fake ass lottery where they can do whatever they want to do. They make the rules, and the biggest part of it is pretending like it's legitimate when it's illegitimate. But anyway, shout out to Pelican, Nola, Young City 9, Tasha, shout out to you as well, Strider, Don Guillory, big ups to you guys, State of the Pals, DJ, Brother Kai, the great shout out to you, Stacy, much love. What's up, Stephanie? Good to see you in the building. Nardy UPT, big ups to your fam. I see you, man. Michael says shit was red Q. 4 small market teams lost their spots to big market teams, indeed. And it just gives you the truth, family, about how this crap goes, right? And the purpose of losing games uh, in an attempt to get talent is not like the NFL. Like the worst teams get the selections, whatever, and the NBA institute this lottery in an attempt to stave off tanking, which it really didn't work. And then the NBA steps in and it decides who they're going to get a pick. When they traded Luka to LA, I was like, that didn't make any sense. What happens? But the NBA has that league share revenue type thing going on where the big market teams have to be relevant for it to make a lot of money. And that's what they're doing. So it's very crazy. It's messed up, but indeed it is what it is. And guess what? Guess what, Pelican faithful? You're going to have to build the team the correct way. That means you're going to have to, if you find the right draft pick to fix your team, you're going to have to, if you need to make trades, you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to get the right coach in place. You're going to have to do it the good old fashioned way, family, which means just doing it smart and doing things that make sense and like that. Now, of course, I wasn't too much looking at it. I'm thinking, well, the Pelicans fell. They were top 4 as far as the time prior to the lottery. But you can never put your hands or your faith in the lottery system because, like tonight, the Pelicans moved from they dropped 3 spots back in the draft, and I played that little skip that skip right there early on from the inside. Kevin O'Connor from Yahoo Sports, who actually had a pretty good pick for the Pelicans and Jeremiah Fields. So I just wanted to talk about that, with that being out of the way, and the fact that number one, seeing and you see Zion that was at the lottery, seeing that there kind of gives family members, shout out to Real Right, the articles for the daily.com talking about that with the Pelicans, them showing Zion at the lottery, him being involved there, was a thumbs up to a degree of support for Zion moving into the season. You don't have a team without Zion Williams. Let's just keep it hovering. And whoever the Pelicans get out of the draft at this position, if they ultimately, because they could draft here or perhaps trade the pick for an asset. We don't exactly know what Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver is going to do, but it starts tonight, right? As we find out our position, and of course, there's going to be some movement as we get closer and closer when the actual draft starts to happen. In a few months from now, we'll be able to see exactly what's in play. If the Pelicans want to move up into the draft, or if they want to trade the asset for a player, whatever the case may be, now's the time to kind of figure this thing out. So big ups to you, Craig. I see you, fam. Michael, shout out to you, DJ Primetime. How you doing, sir? Big ups. He said, Nord UPT said, that's why I don't watch basketball games anymore. Because, this puts it's like watching boxing. Y'all know I do Ring Kings boxing. To Ring Kings boxing, where I do college basketball. I mean, not college football, and do professional boxing. Love boxing. I love boxing as much as I love football, as much as I love basketball. But it's the same stuff in boxing when you see guys get robbed on cards and all this kind of stuff. It just sours you to the to the game when you can obviously see the corruption. You can obviously see, and that's the thing that really kind of sours you to it. You know what I'm saying? So I understand where you're coming from. All right, Josh, how you doing, fam? Appreciate you as well. Stacy says, Q, we don't have cap space, so we can't trade the pick for veterans. We have to live by the draft. We got one pick. We got one pick, Stace, and we gotta make moves to do. But if you look, and let me see if I can pull up the Pels current draft charts. Now that we know where we're positioned, let's talk players, fam. Now we know where we are in terms of where we're going to pick at. Fine, okay, that's out of the way. We're not going to get a top three, a top one, top three, whatever the case may be. We slide all the way down where we are. Now, what's the next strategy going forward? Now, on our team we have John, we have all these guys. We know that Bruce Brown is not going to be here. We know we're not going to be able to retain him. We do have Jose, Jordan Hawkins, Kelly Olynyk, Yves Missi, Alfred Payton, Antonio Reeves, Carlo Mekabic. We have who else we got? We got a couple of other, Trey and all the other guys. CJ McCollum back for another year. So we have DeJounte Murray ultimately when he gets healthy, and of course the Pelicans going to have some undrafted guys, or to fill out the back of the lineup or whatever. But what goes on here, fam? What do you guys think we should do moving forward? Now that we know that the draft is over with, let's position to strategy. What do we need to do next? In terms of what player fits with the mix that the Pelicans currently have. And what I'm asking to you guys is put your basketball and GM caps on and tell me, what is our biggest position of need to you guys? All right, we all the Pelican faithful we in here. So let's start thinking about what's the next move. Now we know where we pick at in the draft coming up. What's the biggest need for the Pelicans and the basketball team? Okay, I know y'all guys gonna say head coach Q. We got to get the head coach. You're right. It appears right now that the damn head coach ain't going anywhere. So what is the biggest position of need for the Pelicans coming? What do you guys think? Fill it in the comment section. Let me know. What I got on screen currently right here, some NBA draft from. This is after the lottery happened. This is with the picks what they're going to lay down in terms of what they believe will go. Now, of course, the Mavericks get the pick, which is totally ridiculous. In my estimation, end up with the pick. That is totally ridiculous. But in the end, it is what it is. Cooper Flag definitely is going to be the pick. So he'll end up going to Dallas to replace Luka Doncic and be Cooper Flag there. Doncic to trade. They worked it all out. We get it. The second it's the Spurs. The Spurs are there. They obviously pivot with Harper, and the Spurs unbelievable. The Spurs, what they were able to do was ridiculous. The Spurs win big, and then they come back again and they get a top 2 pick there. And they're looking at Dylan Harper and Wemby. And, the Spurs are about to take off like a rocket, man. For what I know, that's their cross-state rivals. But they're about to get up there really quick. We know Pop kind of retired. He's out of the way. There's a new era of basketball in San Antonio. That's got to be something, man. I don't know how you guys feel, to see Coach Pop not on those sidelines anymore, him going. And now you have a whole new era about to start in San Antonio with Wemby and Dylan Harper. So this is going to be interesting. Outside of that, Ace Bailey. In this mock draft, they have Ace Bailey, the Rutgers teammate of Dylan Harper, going to the 76ers. So that's going to be interesting as well to see how they try their movement going forward. And then the Hornets, we feel like Trey Johnson, outside of the top 2 guys that are obviously really good players. I think Trey Johnson was a player that a lot of people, including myself, I love Trey Johnson's game. The guy is like instant grits with his offense. He can shoot the hell out of the ball. He can fill it up. And it's just talented. They're looking at the Hornets grabbing Trey Johnson with the 4th pick in this mock draft. The Jazz, VJ Edgecombe goes to Baylor. From Baylor to the Jazz. Right, there's a lot of people anticipating Flag to get there. And then as you go down, you see the Wizards, you get Khan there. And then the Pelicans at the 7th pick, Jeremiah Fears, 6'4", 180 plus from Oklahoma. Guy can play. If you've never seen him play, look him up. Pelicans, no lottery luck for the Pels, but they get a chance to put another piece in place in their attempt to rise from mediocrity. Fears is a fun, flashy, explosive player who has a ton of upside. He's not yet a consistent shooter. He's a bit unproven, but he's got tantalizing talent and will be a great addition to the Pelicans backcourt. We know DeJounte Murray is currently dealing with issues. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly like that. So it's very interesting, man. To be honest with you, the family was saying, yeah, Q is point guard, point guard, point guard, point guard, point guard. So who do you guys like? Do you guys like Jeremiah Fears? I think Fears can play. A lot of people like the kid out of Florida. I don't know if he goes this high, as well. I don't know if he gets that high. A lot of people have him in between 10 and 20 being picked. A lot of people don't have the kid out of Florida going that high. Well, inside of the top 10 anyway, but who knows if you like the guy that might reach out and grab. But point guard obviously is the position you're looking at about fixing. And we don't see exactly what it is, man, going forward. But no lottery luck for our Pelicans tonight. As the Pelicans fall to the 7th selection, and now we have to figure out what we're going to do moving forward. So, yes, this is the thing. All right, big ups to fam. Michael says, I'm not tripping. The Spurs been having the top 5 pick for the last 5 years. Indeed, man. And sometimes you got to stop sucking and start winning, right? What's up with their team, Sean? What y'all got going on, brother? All right, Kev, D720 says the Mavs getting 1 and the Spurs getting 2 had like a 0.2 chance of happening. LOL. The odds of the top 3 in the NBA draft being Dallas, San Antonio, and Philly, and it all was, I know, bro. Isn't that ridiculous? And you look at the numbers, and I don't want to just keep going over that point. It's we commonsensically, come on, fam. Even to the more fanatical-minded person who believes almost more than half of the jargon that these professional outlets spew out, they have to be even looking at this with a leery eye saying, man, come on, man. Come on. Now you put the piece, like I said, when you put the Luka Doncic trade and it had the support base ready to literally take Nico and hook him to, one of them old ancient tortures they used to do with the horses, where they'll tie you to one horse, your legs is to one with the horse, and then your other half to the other horse, and then they hit the ass of the horse, and they both run in different directions, and then next day you going in 2 different directions. That's what they wanted to do with that guy, right? And he was standing there all confident and cocky and all this kind of stuff, and he was talking big smoke for a guy that traded their favorite player, the number 1 player on the team. He was a little too cocky and confident for my taste. I'm like, man, this guy ain't nervous at all. Look at me, this, that, and third. But he, just like they all knew, that they'll end up with this shit, and they played the way it played. So it simply is what it is, man. And this kid did another thing for the Pale Nation. This man ends up in the Southwest Division. So does Dylan Harper. So, boy, if you want to talk about it getting rough in the Southwest for the Pels, fam, the top 2 players in the damn draft will end up in the division in which you got to try to see if you can do something. I mean, how you love that, Pelican Nation? How y'all feel about that? The number, crazy. The number 1 player, he's going to Dallas, obviously. And the number 2 guy, Harper, he's going to end up in San Antonio. So it just doesn't get any easier. But it is what it is. All right, Stacy says Hornets don't need trade. They want a superstar, if not Derek Queen. Hornets are trading that 4th pick. All right, thank you, Stace. All right, Sean says that's our plan. If not flagged, then Giannis. Okay, all right. Yeah, Giannis is that's gonna be an interesting offseason, fam, to be honest with you, about some of these guys moving around. Big man said it's rigged. Right, yes. DJ says a point guard, small forward, or a power forward for these guys. So yes, indeed. But these are some of the players that we've kind of seen here, fam, to kind of make mention of that as we kind of bring up, see if I can bring up some of the list of the players, man. But in the end, all I can see is the and we bemoaned this point on the Pelican post game before we talked about what the team looks like going forward. A lot of people want to see the Pelicans take the step with Zion Williamson. Of course, Zion being at the draft, haven't heard anything about them making a commitment to Zion Williamson quite yet. But then with Zion showing up at the draft and doing this thing like this, it does kind of give you a kind of a nudge moment, if you know what I mean, to say, okay, hey man, the Pelicans, put Zion up there to be the face, maybe we can keep this thing going. They have an interesting team. The biggest question mark to me is not the draft, fam. You all know, to me, it's not the biggest problem. Should not say problem, but as far as I'm concerned, the larger issue to me is not the draft. It's who's your head coach, and can they win with Willie Green? And that's the thing that we really want to see. Can the Pelicans win with Willie Green? That's the thing, because whoever you pick, they got some good players in the draft. Whether some of these the top guys in the tops kind of slide down, you end up with a Jeremiah Fields or a Trey Johnson, a Khan from Duke, or a Derek Queen if you want that player, or any of these players that you see listed here on the board, Asa Newell, or some of these other guys, whoever the pick might be. Do you guys really believe that Willie Green could take the Pelicans, get a winning record, and could to get the Pelicans back to the playoffs? Because that's what I want to see. What is the ideology of that? What is Joe Dumars' vision? What is Troy Weaver's vision for the team going forward? What are we going to do? Are the Pelicans going to try to see if they can do some trading going on? Do you see that going on as well? What happens there? It's a lot to kind of go over, man. But we'll see. All right, Michael says, Q, how can the same teams get in there? No, that's what I'm saying, man. Because people are kind of still stuck on the fact that the Pelicans fell several spots, 3 spots down. And the thing is also is the top players in the draft end up in the Southwest against us. Spurs will obviously pick Harper, and the Mavs will take Flag. So just don't get any better than this. So at the end of the day, regardless of whatever talent they have, the Pelicans have to compete. But we kind of tied up monetarily speaking. We got one draft pick unless the Pelicans decide to trade back and accrue some more, whatever the case may be. Or, however it's going to go, what's the vision? We still don't have enough of the picture yet. Even if we have this, we still don't have enough of the picture to find out what does a Joe Dumars, a Troy Weaver type of team look with Zion Williamson at the helm. Obviously, is Willie Green still going to be here? We've seen Willie Green in the draft room with the Saints. That don't automatically means that he's going to be around. We know Gil Benson thinks Willie Green is a nice man. He's such a nice man. Same thing with Elvin Gentry to us. He's such a nice man. We know all of this nice man nonsense that she likes to play. But is Willie Green really the coach taking the Pelicans into next season? The same guy that lost his team because he called himself, even though he's the softest coach in the NBA. That's quite the irony. That's probably why they pissed off. It's like, these some bitch telling us we saw, and he don't use no aggressive verbiage, and he's soft as a son bitch. So it's very strange and weird all the way around how we got change at the top, but none where we need to be at the leadership level of the guys sitting on the team. So how does this all work? Y'all enlighten me. If y'all put it in, y'all put in the chat, let me know how y'all feel. What's the direction? Give us the ID, the plan. Share it with the Pale Nation, man. Put it in the chat and let us also know that. Yeah, realignment. Yeah, them two extra teams that Silva talked about, which was he made mention of it a couple of weeks ago when they asked him about expansion. Now that they got the contract and all that worked that way, now they're looking at expanding. And obviously, the two teams, we know this for a long time, it's a terrible kept secret, that it's Las Vegas and Seattle. Seattle had the issue with its arena, which is why Seattle left the first time around. And Clay Bennett went up there, he bought the team and moved them to OKC because they couldn't resolve the stadium issue. But since then, Key Arena was totally redeveloped. They reworked it. I think the WNBA team they have plays out of the new Key. Really nice stadium. It's up to par. They really got it going. And then, of course, the T-Mobile, I think that's the name of the arena that Angel Wilson and all them play out of in Vegas. So those are the two teams, and no doubt about it, there's going to be some realignment that's going to happen. Perhaps the Pelicans will get kicked east. That might save their ass. All right, Molly Mall says Dumas will eventually have to fire Willie during the season. Oh no, you can't fire Willie because he's a nice man, and that's the problem. She gets in the way with that bull crap, and that's really because David Griffin was trying to fire Willie Green last year during the season, and she stopped it. She the one stopped it, then put him on the street, and it's just like I can't get what I want from these people. I can't seem to get what I want from these people. I'm like, okay, well, can y'all do something right? Doing something right means if you're going to have a change everything. You got people at the administrative level, they're getting out, some new people coming in, cool. But you cannot keep the coach that, this guy had more, 40 points, more a record 40-point losses than any other. I mean, come on. Come on. Willie Green needs to go, man. Willie Green needs to go, man. I mean, really. I used to like Willie Green, but Willie Green is just like, brother, it's time, bro. It's time, bro. Just go. Just go. We on some Dennis Allen shit with this guy. Just go, Willie. Just leave. But as far as I'm concerned, that's what we are. And what kind of direction this team is heading, y'all put it in the chat. Because it ain't going to get no damn easier. Like I said, the biggest news, the Pelicans fell from 4 to 7, but Dallas has got the number 1 spot. Spurs got it. And now you're looking at having those teams ahead of you in the Southwest Division that'll get the 2 best players in the damn South in the draft. So there you go. Maul says, "Q, the direction is, I don't know how." He says, "I don't know. Do it on the fly." Yes. All right. Yeah. Maul says Allen was a nice man. But no, I don't think she ever referred to him as a nice man. Dennis Allen floated on the cloud. I don't know if she considered him. Brother Gillard says, "Gotta think Coach Dumas is still coaching. Will is going to the front." Hey, listen, I've heard that rumor. Yeah, he says that the Spurs taking Harper, they got Fox. Say, bro, listen, I mean, you make it work. Remember, Harper, he could play that guard or that off guard position play. He's just a tremendous talent. He's one of those type of players where you take him, you just figure it out, that type of thing. Like Willie. Stephanie says, "Q, do you think they get a good player at pick?" Oh yeah, they can definitely get a good player at 7. No doubt about it. Like I said, obviously we're looking at the guard position for the Pelicans as a position of need. A point guard is a position of need for the Pelicans. DeJounte Murray is not going to be ready right away. We know Harper is listed as the top guard in the game. And Jeremiah Fears is, and I was looking at all that game. Jeremiah Fears is a guy that a lot of people see at the Pelicans taking at that spot. And there's quite a few mock drafts that have Jeremiah Fears going there. So, like I said, he can play. But like I said, it moves the coach to kind of get him together. And I know a lot of people like Walter Clayton Jr. from Florida. He showed a lot in the tournament. I don't think a lot of people see him as a top 10 pick, but he got a lot of hard plays, very tough. So there are quite a few players that they have to look at going forward. But man, listen, They just got to do their due diligence. And Troy Weaver has a pretty decent resume in terms of draft, and not so much with Joe Dumars. He got a few of those guys, but Troy Weaver done a better job than Trey. So we just have to maintain. But yeah, no doubt about it, Steph. We definitely can find a good player at 7. It's just the identity of the Pelicans is something that we really have to kind of look at. What kind of identity is the Pelicans? What is the Pelicans' identity? Because Willie Green's been here for 4 years. He's not established the identity of what the team is. What is the identity of the Pelicans? Joe Dumars talked about toughness and all this other kind of stuff. He's the anti-version of with the weak and flimsy basketball type bullshit that David Griffin was pushing. Could Weaver and Dumars build a tougher team when the leader of the team on the floor is Willie Green, who's still weak? Does Willie get tougher with the players? Does his rhetoric change? People telling me David Griffin had to have an impact to some degree. Yes, he did have an impact to a degree to a lot of people that basically stalled out their abilities. Look what Trajan Langdon's doing with Detroit. They had a 1-year term. Now, why can't we have that? Because we can't seem to make all of the right choices at the same time. But those people have a 1-year term. It is not difficult. We need to establish an identity. We have to play behind the identity. We got to stop all this crap about this non-aggressive approach. And that is a part of why teams push the pails around. You hear guys like Draymond Green and the guy with the colorful dreads you split. What's his name? Butler, Jimmy Butler. These guys disrespecting the Pelicans or making mention of their toughness, and all this kind of stuff. And that has to change against physical teams. That definitely has to change. There's a lot of question marks going forward in terms of that, but at the time, it really has a lot to do with who the damn head coach is. Regardless of whoever the players is, we have to have a coach that knows what he's got and know what to do. Wimby says y'all got Wimby and Castle not even close to the playoffs or play in. They got to change the philosophy. I don't know just how good the new head coach that they got. I know he comes from up under Coach Pop, but that's a lot to be said about what San Antonio has got there. So, Sean, who do y'all think that y'all do, man? There going to be some moves going on. You do have Foxy and all that other stuff going on, man. That's going to be interesting to see exactly what they do, but I'm not really looking at the Spurs that I'm trying to get the Pels together, man. All right, Brother Wallace says, do they still have a big name coach out there still? Please get rid of Willie Green. Willie got to go. I know, yes, they still have a lot of coaches out there that the Pelicans can get with some leadership, a better resume, all that's available. It's out there. We'll have to see what the decision is, because there was a rumor that Willie Green was supposed to be taking a job inside, moving up in an administrative position. It's just a rumor. Now, listen, I think that's a good idea, just to get him away from the team. Me personally, I would, if I'm coming in there, I'm cleaning house. But you got Gail Benson who don't know what she's doing, and it's just ridiculous to say the same. So at some point, it got to figure out we got to do better than what the hell we've been doing. All right. So anyway, big ups to you guys. Hope you guys been having a good time, man. I know that we've been dealing, like I said, I was watching the draft, and I'm saying to myself, this lottery, and I'm saying to myself the whole damn way. Yeah, when they started the slide, I was like, yep, here we go. But we just got to do it the right way. And the right way, family, guess what the right way is? Doing the smart decisions. You know what I mean? Strider says, glad they got the 7th pick, because honestly, if Joe Dumars is who what they say is, this is the time to prove it and see what he does. All right. Sean says, as soon as y'all get rid of Arsenal, y'all will get better luck. And it's just y'all. Thanks, Sean. Same thing, bro. So as soon as we get rid of Arsenal, everything goes. The Pelicans or the Saints, because they use the same bullshit system, correct? All right, Philly says 1, 2, 3, Willie Green. 1, 2, 3, Willie Green. You got to got to go. You know, you got to make a say Willie Green. You know, that's what I'm talking about. All right, Michael. Thank you, man. Says I'm upset, Big Q. Why, brother? Why? Thank you for your super chat, man. I appreciate that. Why? There's nothing. Just to be honest with you, knew that, I seen them slide where they were and when they got picked up there. I said to myself, I said, well, it just goes to show you that you're gonna have to do this, but make the right decisions. The team don't for that. So bring up the you see the Pelicans money from it. Like I said, not just the money, but the players that are still being involved on the team for the upcoming season. And we can win with these freaking guys. What's wrong with the Pelicans? And that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, we need this, that, and the third. If you take a look at it, let me see if I can kind of get a little closer right here. Hold on, fam. You can't see if I can kind of get this a little closer. There we go. Now, as you can tell, here this is Sport Tracks Pelicans showing you the contracts, whatnot. If you look at the players, you got Williamson, Zion Williamson, keeping them healthy. But you're right, Sean. The health staff is a major part of it. Joe Dumars, y'all say you're glitching. Okay, LB, you dig, or y'all still hearing me? Put in the chat. Y'all still hearing me good, fam? Because I'm not in my studio. I'm somewhere else right now. I'm out of state right now, and I'm doing it. But y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear me fine. Can y'all hear me fine? If not, I'll just do something else. Put one in the chat if y'all can hear me pretty good, pretty clear. All right, but this is if you look at the team, the Pelicans. Thank you, Strider. If you look at what the Pelicans have, Zion, even if you don't like CJ McCollum, and the proper role CJ McCollum helps. It's the thing is like Willie Green gets walked on. Like if you have an offense, and that's why a part why I don't like Willie Green. He's not a disciplinarian because if CJ McCollum is supposed to pass the ball and they work through where the option one, which is Zion Williamson, how many times have you guys seen like Zion in one game dominate and then the next game they don't play through Zion? You see CJ shooting the ball more than what he's supposed to, him not passing the ball, and Willie not telling him nothing. He just standing there with his goddamn arms folded. You have to, as a coach, he has to basically keep that part of the game going. He has to be able to say, hey, man, we got to play through, our guy. We got to get Zion going. And then Zion, it was games last year, fam, where y'all seen Zion actually in there trying to facilitate, fam. You remember that? Zion got the triple double, and then he was trying to get the triple, kind of getting his points. He was rebounding, but he was still able to kind of pass and get other guys involved. I thought that was pretty cool. Then you have Trey Murphy there. CJ in his proper context. We know Bruce Brown is not going to be there next year. Herb Jones is still in the contract for the next several years. He had an injury, but Herb Jones is looked at as our best defender, right? But Herb is coming back. So he's a part of it. Kelly Olynyk will be back next year. Trey has 5 years there. He will be healthy and ready to go. Jordan Hawkins, is going out a sharpshooter. He'll be there. Eves really developed. Eves got a lot of playing time last year. He should be special. Jeremiah Robinson, we know he'll be gone. We know Bruce Brown will be gone. We still got Jose Alvarado. We still got Carlo Mack. Antonio Reeves showed guys that he could play. Where does Antonio Reeves fit in this whole matrix, fam? We still have Brandon Boston. Brandon Boston was playing really well until he got hurt. He's another guy who got him on an extra year. You see Mo Bamba, and we don't have Mo. Alfred Payton read up with the Pelicans, so we'll have Alfred next year. And we have both restricted free agents and Keon Brooks, which we call Timo Knox, and Jamal King, who's also considered restricted, and Lester Quinones on a two-way, and also restricted in the following year. So, I like Quinones. He's pretty good. Pelicans win with this and possibly add another player to the mix in what we consider in free agency or whatever the case may be. We just have to wait and see. DC is DC. Can you hear me, brother? How you doing?
How can I not hear you? All this hope you up here trying to sell right now. I can't hear you. You can't hear me?
I can't hear you. Can y'all hear DC? I can't hear him. All right. Thank you for that, Steph. Charity, baby, shout out TC. He should go to we got him. What I'm saying is the Pelicans, like, we're not like some of these teams where they got to come on draft for assets. You know what I mean? We're not one of those teams where you got to count on the draft for assets. We have players that we developed already that's ready to go in there and kick some tail. We just need to get the health staff. And Joe Dumars said in his press conference that he had to do some investigating to figure out what's going on with the injury situation. He said that. He was like, I only know what I know from being an outsider and watching it from afar, but I look into it. That's what he said. So he has to understand. Even we placed it on the media mind, fam, about the problem with Pelicans and these damn wretched injuries. All that has to change. All that has to get better.
Can you hear me now?
How it all works.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear DC.
Something wrong on your side because the family hear me because Stacy up in here talking about me selling hope because I said you were selling hope. Just what I've been listening to these last 3-4 minutes. And yeah, you're damn right. You're damn right, Stacy. I wanted us to tank. I did. But you know what? Now I will never say that again because it is blatantly obvious to me that don't mean a goddamn thing. Because there's no way in the world the Dallas Mavericks should have had the number 1 pick. How is that even possible? How is that even possible? And all the teams that had the highest odds, they all were outside of the top 4. Except for what? Philly? Just completely laughable, man, at this point. Like, we knew it was rigged, but I didn't realize. It's like, damn, so all 4 spots are rigged? I thought maybe it was just the number 1 pick and maybe he had some randomness with something. But, the Pels end up with the 7th pick. Listening to Q go over this roster breakdown and looking at our possible future, which, it ain't completely horrible, but it damn sure ain't the best future that we could have because wouldn't it look a lot better with a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th pick at least? With the 7th pick, I don't know what we plan on doing with that. Well, yeah, you're right, Stacey. They had the Hornets in there. And I think Philly might have been the 4th team too, right? Let's see. The Hornets were the 4th team. So the Hornets were the 2nd team. So they got the 4th pick. And they might wind up with Dylan Harper. I don't know if I guess would the Spurs still draft him? They got Stephon Castle. You got De'Aaron Fox. Like, why would they draft Dylan Harper? So he's definitely not going 2. And then you got Philly with Maxey and I don't remember the other little zesty dude they got, but he good. He just zesty. But he might fall to the Hornets. Oh, there you go. You back?
Can you hear me all right?
I heard you the whole time, and the family heard me too. You just couldn't hear me for some reason.
Okay. Am I echoing? Am I good?
You echoing slightly. Well, not really echoing. It don't sound like how it was.
Just as long as you guys.
Go ahead.
Y'all,
Oh, you good now? You good now? You good now? Yeah, that's right, Don Guillory McCain. He was zesty. I couldn't remember his name. I just remember how zesty he was.
See what's going on here.
The dude in Philly. I was saying they probably won't take. They might not take Dylan Harper because they got Maxey and they got the McCain dude. Don Guillory had to remind me of his name.
Oh yeah. Oh, the dude that be on TikTok doing all the work.
Yeah, that guy. He painting his fingernails and all that stuff.
You can play it, bro.
Yeah, he can ball. I ain't discriminating on nobody. If he can ball, he can ball. What you do off the court, that's on you, dog. But
Fact.
but damn, how many times? But he Dylan Harper might wind up with the Hornets, man. What's going on, Q? You got malfunctions on the board? I ain't say nothing about the secret contract.
I mean, this is the thing, bro. All I got to say, DC, is we covered that in early sections of the show about the obvious job that was going on. Now it all makes sense with the Dallas situation with Luka Doncic. All right, J Black says, "Q, your audio is football." Okay, yeah. I'm usually my audio's usually good. I'm not in the studio, bro. I'm kind of operating. I got this new laptop. I'm out on the road moving around, and I'm trying to make it make sense, bro. So
you extra quick on the trigger. Nah, you used to be slow.
Huh?
I say you used to be slow. Now you're extra quick on the trigger. You hitting buttons before they need to be pushed now.
Well, I was just trying to see some stuff going on with it, but yeah, that's okay. But I appreciate you, Jay Black, for letting me know. I'm testing some new stuff, bro. So y'all just be patient with me on that. But yeah, DC, go ahead. Let's talk. We were talking about basically what's the next step now with the Pels.
Let's trade the pick. Trade the 7 pick. Yeah, like I don't. What can we go get, man? Can we get Giannis? Can we get Ja Morant? Can we need to start looking towards acquiring another player. You can't really depend on having DeJounte Murray and what that can turn into, and CJ McCullough as being your other guy. Like we might have to move in another direction for that. But so I say field trades, man. Look at who's available, who you possibly can get before or on draft day, and I would be looking to trade, man. If I can get a center, we still need a center, in my opinion. I think Misi can be what? Your stuff cutting in and out. I can't hear what you're saying. You sound like you're saying something slick, but I still can't hear you. I just know you, so I know you're saying something slick.
I didn't say anything slick.
What would you say? What did you say?
Huh? You said a center.
A center, yeah. We need a center. We still need a center. So if we can, what happened?
Good.
Oh, am I echoing or something? What's going on? But yeah, man. Like I was saying, we still need a center. We need a point guard, shooting guard. Like so, any one of those premium guys, if we could run across and get somebody like that while moving off DeJounte Murray or CJ McCollum, which I mean, at this point, if we can actually get a coach, CJ might not look as bad if we had a point guard and a coach. Long as you don't have him holding on the ball and trying to take 20 shots every game. But man, it definitely ain't looking as bright as it could as far as our future. If we would have just had a third or fourth pick where we were I guess expected to get it, that would be a lot more favorable. But you can still move a 7 pick. Maybe you can add that for one of these guys and one of these teams. They're looking at that as a come up with some future picks. But I'm not excited at all about drafting a guy there. Not because I don't think they got guys that we could possibly utilize and it would fit with us good. I don't know if I trust this front office to be able to find, like the next Franz Wagner or somebody like that who wasn't really expected to be as good as they are, that they got at like the 7th, 8th spot. I don't know if I trust them to do that. 1, 2, or 3, maybe it would be more likely. Or if you could have got Dylan Harper, that's almost a layup. I'm pretty sure he's going to be at the very least a starting quality NBA player. But now that we're picking 7, it's just so much uncertainty. They do have a lot of guys, though, we're looking at. Like I told you, I like Derek Queen. I don't know how a lot of people feel about him. I like him a lot, even though I know athletically, he might not be what you want. He don't look like he got the size, but he could ball. He could ball. Remind me of a Zebo a little bit. I don't think his game going to be predicated on athleticism the whole time. And he can score. He got a little perimeter game to him. I think that's somebody who could play well with Zion and fit with Messi. But I would be looking to get bigger or fix my backcourt if I am going to draft a player. I know some people like a lot of the wings they got. And I guess you can never have too many wings, right? But Herb and Trey, I don't know. I think we need either point guard, shooting guard, or center, some type of way. Really would like to see a trade and go after Ja Morant if he's really available. Those rumors I hear are true, but how do you really know till it happens? You still there, Big Q? You got your stuff fixed?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good now.
All right, I'm still working on it, brother. I don't know what's going on. I'm still trying to figure it out.
You good now, man? You not cutting in and out or nothing no more?
You said you can hear me well?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, you want another.
Now your audio cut out. It was good, and then you wasn't. I don't know what happened.
It's going in now, brother. It's going in. I'm gonna work on it, but yeah, I'm just confused about the center. Why would you want another center, bro?
Messi is not the answer yet. Messi still needs time to develop. Also, Messi is not the center for where the NBA is going. Or if you're looking at where the NBA is going, you need multiple big guys now, man. The days of just having a 1 7-footer or one big guy at that spot, it's over. Like, look around in the playoffs, man. Like, you got height out there. If you're not gonna go height, you got to have premium talent all the way across the board, like a Boston. And you even looking at them, they still got height though. So it's like you have to prepare for double big lineups. We playing in a division with Wemby. You got Memphis who got Edie now. You don't know what he gonna turn into. Messi ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? Like he's good, and I would like to keep him, but you need somebody else to that. And if you can get a big, preferably one that could shoot or have at least the ability to threaten from the outside, because we have Zion Williamson, I think you do that. Man. But you need that as well as the other stuff too. So I'm not like saying, okay, I would get a big or a point guard. Like, no, you need both. You still need another big, and you still need a point guard. Jose gonna get hurt. We don't want CJ McCollum running the point. DeJounte Murray is hurt. We still need a point guard. And we don't even know. Hopefully, DeJounte Murray can come back and be the guy he was. But we don't know what that's gonna look like. Yeah, you got point Zion, but okay, what about when Zion not in the game? You still need a point guard. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of different variables. But I think getting bigger should definitely be a priority for the Pelicans, because a lot of us getting pushed around and punked and all of that has to do with us being small. Well, yeah, Q. I guess his mic's still tripping. So, all right, family, what y'all thinking though, man? So I say we need a center, shooting guard, a point guard. Not in any particular order, but it's definitely extremely important to get a point guard and a center. Shooting guard, as long as we got CJ McCollum and Jordan Hawkins, you got Herb. I think we can make something to work with the shooting guard spot, even though we need to upgrade it to look for, CJ McCollum possibly moving on, because I don't think we're going to give him another $30 million a year. I mean, guess you probably do it for 20. My man Cap Manny said a power forward. I think with Zion, Carlo, it couldn't hurt. I mean, hopefully he's a combo forward where he can at least play a small forward and power forward, or power forward and center. Somebody like that, I wouldn't be mad at it. Pelicans Nola got a crazy lineup here. He said Herb at the point, Trey Murphy at shooting guard, Zion at small forward, Kelly power forward, Misi at center. Don't totally hate it, but I ain't gonna say that. To me, that ain't the lineup that's gonna feed families. But I definitely think that's a lineup that they could and should play. I don't know if I want that to be my starting lineup though. But Pels with the number 7 pick, family. How y'all feeling about this? Because I don't know, man. I'm a little disappointed. I mean, I didn't expect us really to get the number 1 pick. I was hoping we got number 2. But I thought they would at least get like a 3rd or 4th pick. Number 7 pick. Man, it's just like a kick in the face at this point. I feel traumatized, y'all. We sat through all this tumultuous, disastrous basketball, and we walk away with nothing. Well, I can't say that because we don't know how it's going to turn out. If they take that pick and they're able to flip it into something, then it very well may work in our favor. But, man, at this point, to make me happy, they have to fire Willie Green. They absolutely have to. Like, we basically, we don't have anything that we didn't have last year. And we coming back into this fully embracing Zion with no plays for him. No vision for him. Nothing different. Maybe, well, you know what? I can't say that. Joe Dumars is here, so hopefully Zion gets some foul calls. You know what I'm saying? Joe was in the front office up there, working the player discipline department, and he says he's had some conversations with Zion. He has a direct line to Adam Silver, so maybe Zion don't get hacked as much. Maybe that's the upgrade. Oh man, Hakeem Baptiste has an interesting comment here about one of the Duke prospects. If we keep the pick, go with 1 or 2 Duke players. Malach, that's the big center, the 7-foot center. The center or the shooting guard, Knipple. Yeah, I'm not sure. Malach, I hear a lot of good stuff about him. How well do you trust his shooting abilities? Are good? You would say they are. Is that kind of a flash in the pan? What we've been seeing at Duke, or can he continue to develop that and get better? But we definitely could do a lot worse. So I'm not mad at your strategy, man. I think it's an interesting way to look at it. Knipple, I like Knipple, but at the same time, like I just wonder if his game gonna translate, and defensively how good he is really. Do you see Knipple as a defensive stopper or somebody that'd be more of a liability defensively? Offensively, I can see the brother got game. I see he got game, but defensively, I'm not sure about Knipple. But like I said, if the Pelicans selected him at 7, I'm definitely not mad at all. Just think far as what we have for our team, I don't know. And then the center is having another rookie center, and just knowing how centers. That's the problem with Messi, man. Centers usually have to develop. It's one of those positions that take a while, and you kind of say the same thing about point guards too. Maybe lately, or when you get a great point guard, that's not so much true. They kind of hit the ground running a lot of times. But center definitely, man. It seems like those guys have to adjust to the physicality. They have to put on some muscle, Then they gotta adjust to the speed of the game. Like center just seems to take a while. But we need a shooting center, and this I don't know if I'm saying his name. I think it's Malak. But I know he can shoot 3-ball a little bit, and he's pretty nimble to be so big. I done seen him switching on the players smaller, and he's impressive defensively. All right, let's see what other comments we got in here. Show y'all some love, family. You can't call in, but I'll read some of y'all stuff in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat too, man. Like I said, y'all make this show worthwhile for me. I love hearing other people's thoughts sometimes, and seeing what you guys thinking and how y'all feeling about whatever we talking about. So, lately I've been leaning towards reading a lot of y'all comments and asking y'all what y'all think, shoot some questions in here, because that's what I like doing. And Big Q gone. He done came up in here, got it started, dropped the news on y'all, and disappeared. My man that went to the the black zone with that mic or something going on with this stuff. But let me see what my man Jaden got here. He said, Big Q in DC, I'm mad. I'm very past, but I guess you're saying what, pissed off? Not only don't we get the top 3 or 4 pick, but the NBA let the Spurs and the Mavericks get the top 2 picks. This cannot get any worse, I guess. Adding worse than this. Okay. I get what you're trying to say, brother. Yeah, you got 2 teams in our division. The rich get richer, right? And then here we are. We talking about we trying to win and go for the championship. Okay, well, I guess I ain't got to do it alone. Lexxah came and jumped up in the building. What's happening, Lex?
What up with you?
Oh, I'm good, but I want to go ahead and I want to get something off my chest with you right quick. Because wait, I gotta say this.
Okay, I speak.
I went all season, getting on you, Lex, about us tanking, and you said I ain't trying to hear that crap. It don't mean nothing. It don't matter. And I got to tell you, Queen Lex, you were right. You were right. It meant absolutely nothing. It's a completely lost season.
You hear me? First of all, this just goes to show they were not going to put Cooper Flag in a bad situation. They were not going to send him to a poorly ran organization. They weren't going to send him to the Wizards. Utah, they still struggling, even though they got Danny Ainge, and they definitely weren't going to send him to the Pelicans.
Why not the Spurs?
Huh?
Why not the Spurs?
No, because the thing is that, and it really, this kind of saves Nico's behind. He's actually in a great situation because there's already been talk that they could trade Cooper Flag to the Bucks for Giannis Antetokounmpo. They could very well do that.
They could.
Yeah.
I think that would be. That'd probably be a mistake on the Bucks part.
They put Cooper Flag in a great situation. He has mentors. He's around champions. He's around for the most part a greatly ran organization. He's around players and an organization that has stability. And I just think it's sad because when you look at the Pelican situation, everybody was hoping for a top pick all season. And you know what? Really, it looking at this again, the division is getting stronger. And you know what? The Pelicans are behind. All this stuff that Griff did, man, it really this just goes to show how much of a setback that it was. It confirms how much of a setback this organization is right now. Houston, Kevin Durant came out and said that he wants to go to Houston. If Dallas is trying to win now, they could trade Cooper Flag to the Bucks and get Giannis Antetokounmpo. All those teams are in the Southwest Division, guys. Not to mention the Spurs got Wemby, they got De'Aaron Fox, and I'm pretty sure they're going to add more pieces. The Pelicans are behind. The Pelicans are behind, man. And it's sad, man. I mean, you're looking at you're looking at the Pelicans because right now, this kind of confirms the Pelicans are not in a win now situation. Does anybody else feel that way? Does anybody else feel that way? Now that we know where everything's lying and where even with KD and all this information came out today, this was before it's not looking good. The division is getting stronger. And we already knew that. But now you look at where everything's lied in with the lottery and stuff, it's confirmation. It's confirmation. This is bad, man. It's more bad news. All because you weren't being proactive, you were being reactive. And look where it's gotten the Pelicans organization. Look where it's gotten you. And really, it's really almost, it really paints that picture of, man, really it's like, you got to rebuild. Really, there's no sense in really keeping Zion unless you just using him for a piggy bank. And that's what they've been using Zion for. Zion's not about to win here. Nobody's about to win here. And I mean, we can tell ourselves that, oh, it's going to be okay. You know, we're going to give Joe Dumars a chance. Man, this is bad because other teams are steps with a whole bunch of S's at the end, steps ahead of the Pelicans. This is bad. This is bad. And it's not being negative. It's telling the truth. Because I'm not the type of person, I don't like to lie to myself. I don't like to do that. I want to know the truth. You know what I'm saying? If something's spoiled, hey, man, I want to know that it's spoiled. I don't want to just bite into it and you know what I'm saying? And it's spoiled, but didn't nobody tell me. That's crazy, man. And that's what this is right now. That's what this is. And it just, this whole thing took a huge turn. It took a huge turn. It was never about, you know, Joe Dumars really, him using his status to really help the Pelicans. Man, it don't matter which way you turn it. The Pelicans do not have a good owner.
No, they don't.
Like, just because Joe Dumars is here, this organization just didn't get, oh, this organization is great overnight. This stuff is a process, guys. It's a process. And it's just really sad. It's really sad because that's what all this is just confirmation of what we already knew. It's confirmation.
Yeah. But I think it could be worse though, Lexxah. They could be trading Zion and keeping Willie Green, like the other rumor said.
I mean, you know what? I didn't even touch on him.
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said Willie. I knew that'd be triggering for you.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
This is not a win now situation for this organization. It's not.
What would you propose that they do now that Joe Dumars is here? Because we're in a time right now where they haven't really done anything new yet. Huh?
I said I hope he has great negotiation skills for some trades or something, because really that's it.
Yeah, we got to pull off a trade.
Because really, this kind of secures. This is not going to be a win now team. I don't even think this. Whatever happens from here on out, I don't even think they're going to be a playoff team. I really don't.
So let me get this straight, Lex. You don't think that even if we have Zion at full health and Trey Murphy at full health, that the Pelicans can make the playoffs?
Okay.
Maybe they got to do it through the play-in again.
Let me give you this answer.
But I feel you with them not being the 6th seed. Like I'm with you on that.
You see how good and how big these other teams are? You're putting a lot on Zion.
Well, I mean, we do have
You're
two.
putting a lot on him. That man needs help. These teams are stacked, DC. They stacked.
They are. We still have a chance to get bigger. What if we draft a big guy?
You are putting so much pressure and emphasis on Trey Murphy and Zion. And Trey Murphy, I'm gonna be honest, Trey Murphy has not arrived yet. He's gotten his opportunities. I'm with that.
He right there.
Trey Murphy, come on, let's be real, guys. He hasn't arrived yet. Trey is not, and that's nothing against Trey. I don't want y'all to think that that's something negative, but he needs a little bit more time and more of those opportunities. And now he's getting them, but
he just needs to play with Zion.
And he's going to be coming off of an injury.
Yeah.
Isn't he going to be off his injury by the time training camp comes?
Not exactly sure. He might still be a little hurt.
You see what I'm saying?
But he always coming off an injury, though. Trey always coming off an injury. That ain't nothing new.
I mean, but what I'm saying is you're putting a lot of pressure. Let me ask you this. Who else on the Pelicans is a true threat against a quality playoff contender?
What do you mean? You talking about a player? Like you said, who was a true threat against a quality playoff contender?
Against a quality team.
I mean, I think everybody goes with Zion. I don't really think we have if Zion go down, it's trash.
But that's the thing. That's what that's what we want to do, y'all. We want to put. We want to have, because really it's gonna be 5 against 1. You gotta have, when you look at Anthony Davis, you look at Klay Thompson, you know what I'm saying? And then you look at the size that they have. Man, that's what Zion's gonna be going up against. When you look at these other teams, they have that other legitimate star. And not only that, it's not that. They have a complete team. We're already, I'm not confident about the front court. Is anybody else confident about the front court going up against other front courts in the division, let alone the West?
I put it like this, Lex. As long as we got Zion, we have a chance. Are they going to win a championship? Hell no. Not with the current squad we got. But as long as they have Zion, we have a chance against any front court on any night. But wait, hold up. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. Because you hot. You've been stewing for a minute, huh? Huh?
You can't just put it on Zion. Other teams have a complete team.
Well, I've seen players like Giannis. Well, they put it on Giannis. They put it on LeBron. KD did have Westbrook, but you get where I'm going. When you have a superstar player,
it's the Pelicans, though, man. Come on.
I don't care. When you got a superstar player, if you can have them
they don't treat Zion like no superstar, though. Come on, man.
Well, they sent them to the NBA. They sent them to the draft. I mean, that's one thing.
Just because they drafted him, they haven't been treating him like a superstar. This dude is the same dude who had to take a back seat to CJ freaking McCollum and Brandon Ingram.
That was your coach.
They want to wait 6 seasons late to all of a sudden build around Zion. Man, that's crazy, man.
It's definitely crazy. But all I'm saying, if you got Zion, you have him playing at the level we know he's capable without getting hurt, you got a chance. You are absolutely right about what you're saying, about how they treated him, about not having another player outside of him that could possibly carve up a playoff contending team. You're absolutely right. But if you got a Zion, you got him playing at top help ability. No, I'm not trying. No. This isn't optimism. There's no optimism at all in this. All I'm saying is, if you have Zion and he's able to play the majority of the games at the level we know how he's able to play,
not a coach.
You do. But if you have a Zion and he can play like we know Zion can play, I can't count him out of not making the playoffs. That's my only point. They could still do it. Will they do it? I don't know. Am I saying they're going to do it? No. But I'm saying it's possible. If you got Zion and Zion healthy, man, Zion could drag this team now. That's the type of potential and the type of ability that he has. Do you want to do that? Do you want to run him into the ground? I get where you're going and everything you're saying. And you're not wrong. And I'm not arguing trying to say you're wrong. All I'm saying is if you get him play at that level, you got a shot. Everything else is in the. But this is the thing what I want to get to, or we can start talking about. Because you laying it out, I hear the passion and I love it. What should the Pels do though? Because we got Joe Dumars, we got a new front office. We know they should fire Willie. So beyond that, what moves should they be making with the situation we're in? We can't treat the front office that they got now like that. This is David Griffin. This is a new front office. I don't know if they can fix all of this in a year. I seriously doubt it. But what moves should they be looking to make? Let's help them out. What do you see from your perspective that you think should be happening?
You guys need to help themselves out before they,
Come on, Lex, you can't give them all the vitriol and not give them no answers. Gotta give them some answers.
Man, everything's late. Everything's late, man.
That's the old front office though. It's a new front office, Lex.
They should have started like when I was telling you. I want a movement way before now. That's what I was saying, because not right now everything's reactive. It's not proactive. And they're behind. So whatever they do, they're still going to be behind. That's the point. And they were already behind, but now you're even more behind. Remember what I said in the beginning of the season, that you lose time. You can't get time back. You cannot get time back. And because you can't get time back, time is precious, DC. That's what I'm saying. They needed to move then.
It's a new front office, though, Lex. You can't hold them to the standard of the old front office. So what can the new front office do now?
You can't wait until the end of the season to get rid of Griff. You should have did that before so you can start preparing for the off season. Now you're here and you're behind way more than you were before. This is a hole right now, man. This is a hole. That's what this is. I mean, and that, because it's
definitely
hard.
A hole.
It's hard. It's hard to determine where to even start. Because first, I think you have to understand. Look, are the Pelicans in a win now situation? And everybody, right off the bat, I think everybody knows the answer to that. They're not. They're not. And let me tell you something. Do the supporters want to see the Pelicans with another losing season? And because right now, like I said, having Zion here, now everybody's clinging on to Zion even more. You had some people saying, yeah, trade him. Now that you see the situation, now it's like, oh, we need him now. We really do need him. People are changing their minds because he's acting as the only hope. But it's like, you still need a team around him. You still need a team. And really, man, Joe gonna have he got a lot of work on his hands, man.
What would be the first player that you go after? Pretend that you in the front office. You can make moves. We can't go back. Time is precious, like you said, so we can't go back. It's already done. What can we do right now, moving forward, to start to catch up? Because, like you said, no matter what we do, we'll still be behind, and I agree. But what can we do right now to start to catch up?
Man, the Pelicans look more closer to a rebuild than anything else. They look like they close to a rebuild. And I hate to say that because I don't want to see no more losing. I wanted this season to change. But I just don't feel like all this stuff, like you said, it takes time. You can't solve this stuff overnight. And so when you look at the situation, it's like they look like it's more so a rebuild than getting to a win now situation. So
I don't think it's like I said, your perspective and mine it's a little different. I agree with the majority of stuff you have to say, but my thing is, I guess you say I'm still a little optimistic. I don't know from now till when the season starts what our roster is going to be fully, because there's still some things they can do. There's rumors about the Pels trying to get Ja Morant. There's rumors about the Pels trying to get Giannis. That won't go away. So they're obviously, to me, looking to do something.
Pelicans.
Probably not. But the Pelicans are actively looking to do something, is what I'm saying. So
I'm pretty sure the Bucks are going to do right by Giannis, and they don't try to send him where he wants to go.
Man, if I'm the Bucks, I'm trying to send him where I could get the most goddamn compensation. All this send him where he won't go. Good guys.
Just saying. I can tell you right now, that's not on his list. It ain't on his list, man.
We don't have the space, Stacey, but I mean, who we sending back could create the space for Giannis or whoever. You got Devin Booker, who you know is on the move. Phoenix has no draft picks. KD is out over there. You have whispers about LaMelo possibly, and there's people talking about Boston breaking that up or maybe trading one of those guys.
Yeah.
Who do you want, Lex? Like for to try to get this right, who would you like the Pels to get to pair with Zion to make a turn or at least make this exciting and then possibly be able to contend or compete next year?
Shoot. Well, who's cheap? Who can help the team?
Who cheap?
I'm
gonna have to ask you this question again with your move, Lex.
What we talking about? Because I'm not looking at the books, but we know Gail Benson is cheap. She ain't trying to pay over the luxury tax. We know she ain't trying to win.
I can't. I wouldn't have paid over the luxury tax for that damn team we had last year either. She is cheap, and you need to pay over the luxury tax. But I think if you're gonna do that, you gotta be strategic about how you do it, and you gotta make sure you got your team together, or a great team together, and then you pay the luxury tax. I don't think you should just do that, trying to, on a whim to try to make something happen. That ain't usually how most teams do it anyway, unless you like maybe the Lakers.
Front office too, so
yeah.
You gotta sync up in order to make that.
Yeah, you gotta have the right people to be going over the luxury tax for. You can't just money your way into it. I think that's just as stupid.
Thinking about this stuff is scary, man. This is zero confidence right now, man. Just zero faith.
I don't want you to have faith. I'm just trying to get some answers from your perspective because you draw a lot of valid points. So I'm like, okay, well, with the roster we have, who would you like to see?
Low. And if, like for instance, you can say bring in Jaylen Brown over from Boston, right? But that's not feasible because look at his contract. I mean, it just I'm trying to do it according to what's feasible according to how the
I mean, if they looking to get rid of some people you're not expecting through draft picks, I mean, a lot is feasible. I understand we don't have the space, but I think there's ways to make certain stuff happen. I mean, you could sit down and figure out the technicals of it, but if you're the front office, that like is how I'm looking at it. Like we got to provide them with some answers because they obviously ain't know what the hell they've been doing the last 6 years since David Griffin got up in there. Now you got Joe Dumars in there.
To waste 6 seasons of a gifted player is crazy.
It is when he probably only go play 12 or 13 years.
Didn't try to invest, didn't try to get the mentors around him. Man, Dallas pick up Cooper Flag. Golly, you talking about Dirk Nowitzki. You talking about a stable situation.
I don't know if he Dirk Nowitzki now, Lex.
Huh?
I don't know if Cooper Flag is going to be Dirk Nowitzki. I
wasn't calling him no Dirk Nowitzki.
Oh, you just talking about who over there. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, the people around him. That's what I'm looking at. Zion didn't have that.
Yeah.
You got Anthony Davis. You got Klay Thompson. You got Kyrie. Champions. That's the type of mentorship and role models that you have around you, man. That's a great situation. And
Cooper Flag is Garnett. I don't know about that, Stacey. Stacey said Cooper Flag is Garnett. I don't know.
That's gonna be great. Now they may.
I know he going to a good situation for who he is, though. I think that is the best possible situation for him. Other shit. The only thing he could have went that would have been better would have been like Boston or something.
They were determined to put him in a great situation, and really that really saved what's his name's behind, because now they probably gonna love him. They get Giannis, maybe, I don't know how they feel about that, but I'm just saying, man.
He sees Kevin Garnett if he was raised white with both parents. I don't know, Stacey. I think the fact that Kevin Garnett is black and he wasn't raised with both parents is what makes him Kevin Garnett, in my opinion, brother. But we'll see. We'll see with Cooper Flag. I think he's gonna be good. Especially not going to Dallas, I think that gives him an opportunity to be great for sure.
Yeah.
Because like Lex was saying, he's in a great organization, surrounded by champions, and he got some star-studded players over there he gonna be playing with. So coming in his rookie year, probably for the next 2-3 years, he ain't got to do a whole lot. He just need to fill in the pieces to whatever they're missing, and I think that's a role he can fill very well right now. And bringing them excellent defense, man, it's just crazy. The rich get richer as far as Dallas. And you can say the same thing about San Antonio, too, although we don't know who they're going to pick. Because I'm curious to see where Dylan Harper goes, because it's the teams that are behind Dallas, it's a little awkward, like how that would fit with Dylan Harper, I'm saying. So that's the two players I'm curious about. And that's right, Cap Manny. I did talk about Igor Demian. I like him. And I think at 7 it would be a good pick. But like I said, before when I was talking about trading the pick, I don't know if I can trust this front office to be that smart to knock this out the park. Igor Demian would be one of the best players you could pick. The only thing about him, and I don't know if I could trust the front office or our organization to help him with his shooting. I think he needs to work on his shot, although I don't think it's as bad as his percentages are when you look at him on tape. But he's definitely the best facilitator in the draft. This is the best facilitator in the whole draft to me. But, shooting is an issue for him. He got sneaky athleticism. He like 6'8", 6'9", playing the point guard position. If he pans out to what he could be, man, this is franchise altering dude, possibly, but it's a gamble because you don't know if it's gonna pan out. But yeah, Cap Manny, I like Igor, especially now more at 7 than anywhere else. I like him. I like Derek Queen. I like Jamar Fears, but I don't know if we should do that because I don't want no more 6'2", 6'3" guys, man. We need size. We can't get another player that's small. We just can't do it unless we trading somebody we got that's little and getting some more size in here. We're already undersized, as you heard Lex eloquently put it earlier, because everybody's going big, man. It's go big or go home now. We got two solid bigs, well, three solid bigs in my opinion. I like Carlo. I think he can grow and be a lot better, but he's a power forward. For him to be a center, his defense is gonna have to improve. Or you just playing him, in certain lineups where he can stretch the floor. You know what I'm saying? That could work if you have him at center for spot minutes. Kelly Olynyk, awesome offensively, awesome, but come on, let's be real. Kelly Olynyk can rebound, but he ain't getting you a whole lot defense. And then you got Misi, who's a defensive juggernaut, but offensively he ain't gonna give you much. He's not gonna spread the floor. He's smart enough to get out of Zion's way, so I can't say he clogs the lane. I like his ability to be able to know where to be, when to be, and how to be, but he's still a little bit away to me from being a Clint Capella. That's almost who I see him in the mold of. A Clint Capella with ridiculous athleticism. But getting another big player, I think, could tremendously help this team. And you don't know who we can discover. We've had a history of being able to find some guys later in the draft, and Herb, Jose Alvarado, and stuff like that. You can't depend on that all the time, but we don't know who they're going to get. We don't know what the Pels going to be. But as let's put it, man, it ain't looking good with the 7th pick. You got anybody in the draft that you like, Lex? That you would see the Pels taking with the 7th pick?
I like Harper, but I'm not really,
no, with the 7th pick, he ain't gonna be there at 7.
Yeah, I know he ain't gonna be there, but I'm not really. Maybe that dude from Florida, because we do need.
Oh, you're talking about he's too small to me though. I'm not big on another small guy, man. He already too goddamn small.
I'm just trying to.
You good though?
The Pelicans don't need projects, man. They really don't. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to watch a losing season. And that's what's frustrating to me is that I just feel like.
Come on, Stacey. Stacey said we need to buy out CJ McCollum. So you gonna give him $30 million to not play? He ain't that bad, Stacey. You get a coach. You get a coach in there
because
you need a point guard to get his ass out the way.
They need to free up some money because the organization is cheap. So when you think of it that way, CJ is in the way. It's not about really his play, but really if you have a coach that keeps putting this dude in a position where, hey, we need you to play point guard, and he's not a point guard, he's a true 2. That's crazy. That's crazy. Or it's like, hey, CJ, we need you to do it out there. Like, dog, he's not that. He ain't even supposed to be the dude on this team. What are you talking about? As long as you have that situation, man, look, that dude needs to be moved. The organization is cheap. It opens up money so that you can do something. You have something to work with. Because right now, we basically have to work with the fact that the ownership is cheap. That's what we got to work with. And CJ, he's never been an all-star. He doesn't have no accolades. He hasn't gotten most improved player. He hasn't been defensive player of the team. He ain't on first NBA all-team or anything like that. Dog, why are you getting paid that much when you have absolutely no accolades? The dude was not rookie of the year. What are we doing? When you start looking at all these details, it's like, dog, the math ain't mathing. This stuff ain't making no sense. You gotta move him. You gotta move him.
Yeah, you gotta move him, but I don't know about buying him out. Well, partially because I know that ain't gonna happen. I understand what you're saying about salary cap implications of that, Stacy, but this is last year, and you don't think under a competent coach, CJ can be useful? I mean, he did shoot. He did shoot damn near 4. He shot 40% from the three on pretty high volume. I think his problem is playing out of position. Number one. Number two, there not being a clear structure or what would you call it? Like where players know where they stand, man. We don't have like this the number one guy, this the number two guy, this number all that shit is like so whimsical.
The hierarchy.
We don't have a proper hierarchy.
Exactly.
If we had CJ, if you can imagine CJ being the third option, which Trey at the second option, I'm not sure he's ready for that. Maybe he can surprise us and take another leap because that's what his next leap would be, to be a second option. But Trey as the second option and CJ as a third option, I don't think CJ looks bad at all. Maybe overpaid, but not bad. You got two guys you're initiating the offense through. The defense playing pretty good, and then you kick it out to CJ, who gets a one-on-one situation, and he get the cook. I think he kills it in that situation. Either that, or you have him off the bench, and you saying the second coming of Jamal Crawford. I think CJ could be that good, but you have to have the Jamal Crawford. You could
year?
Huh?
Who was the sixth man of the year?
Yeah, you don't think CJ could be the sixth man of the year?
No, he hasn't come close to it yet.
Come on, Lex.
Chicken. Look at what the team. Look at the team that he's on. They are not. They're gonna look.
Listen, you talking about it happening for sure, and team structure. We don't have everything set. My thing is hypothetical. CJ is definitely good enough to be the sixth man of the year.
Yeah, but not with this team. This team ain't about to do nothing.
Well, that's not what I'm talking about. Putting it in proper perspective on the context of having things laid out properly.
Man, you talking about the polarities and the polarities.
Well, that's what a coach does. That's what vision does. That's when you change the philosophies.
And they already said that they ain't getting rid of Willie.
We don't know what we got, and they never said they're not getting rid of Willie. They haven't said that yet. But it looks that way. It looks that way, like they're not gonna get rid of him. But they never said it. They never said it. But my thing is this: the vision and the ability to utilize that. That's why I said if you get the right coach, and you get a point guard, and you put CJ in his proper position, and then I went on to describe that. Now, if you're not going to do that, and we want CJ to do the shit he's been doing, then no. Yeah, you got to get him going. You got to get him out the way. But I'm just saying there's a way to still have him here for one more year and be able to make that happen. And he'd be a benefit to the team. But are the Pels able to facilitate a trade to move CJ? He's expiring, so that's a little more exciting or enticing to teams versus last year. But I mean, the way we've traded in the past, hopefully Joe Dumars is a better negotiator than David Griffin. Everybody likes to talk him up for his trading acumen, but I mean, it took us 5 second-round draft picks to get off Devontae Graham, and we kind of get the bottom of the barrel in most of the trades we facilitated. The DeJounte Murray trade was looking good, and then he got hurt, so now it looked like shit.
They kept adding stuff to the deal, though, which I thought was interesting. And I'm like, okay.
I mean, they added some players, but the picks were always what they were, and the main people were what they were. And the players that we wound up giving up, Larry Nance, what was the other kid? Like, he wound up not even playing, I don't think, last year. I forgot his damn name. We drafted him from Ohio State, man. I can't remember this dude's name. But we gave up him. And what else did we really give up? The 2 picks. I mean, if you tell me DeJounte Murray is going to stay healthy, I mean, I would do that trade 10 out of 10 times if I knew he wasn't going to tear his Achilles. 2 firsts. Yeah, I wasn't excited about the 2 firsts. That's right, man. But that's the old front office. I gotta, I guess, look to see what the new front office would possibly do and where it could go. When he's starting off behind, like you said. But what will they do and what can they do? Because if they're doing what they're able to do, I would think firing Willie Green would be first on the agenda. Because you are for sure right. If we keeping Willie Green and CJ McCollum, is a recipe for disaster. Because Willie Green is going to continue to treat CJ like he's, I guess, the number one on the team. Like you got clutch situations, and Willie Green sitting down talking to CJ like how they gonna work something up through him, and the shit don't never work, and we keep doing that. It's stupid, extremely stupid. I understand your frustration, but shit.
No, it's not frustration. I just, this is the same thing we've been talking about. Like I said, this is confirming everything that we talked about at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And everybody was talking about this draft and everything, and trying to lose. Yeah, let's lose so we can get a pick. Man, look at the situation now. Just because you're tanking does not guarantee that you'll get a top pick. And I said that. You know what I'm saying?
It don't guarantee you get a top pick, but you would think you should at least be in the top 4 to 5. Like, this is crazy.
That the Pelicans didn't.
They handpicked 3 teams to be up there, in my opinion. Dallas, they put up there to save them. It makes me look at Nico totally different, because now I'm looking at it like this whole Luka trade. I think it came from up top. Like, this may have been something the league orchestrated. Because how does Luka go to the Lakers and then all of a sudden now Dallas got the number 1 pick with a 1.8% chance? It's insane. And then San Antonio, for some reason, is always picking. It feels like in the top 3, the top 5 every goddamn year. They're constantly up there, and they get the 2nd pick. And then you got Philly, who, ironically has problems with Joel Embiid. They get blessed with the 3rd pick. And then you start seeing the teams that actually belong up there. I knew teams were going to be penalized for their efforts to tank. I talked about that. I didn't think we would be one of them because we actually weren't tanking. We just were that sad.
That's probably
the NBA. The NBA didn't see it that way. What you say, Lex?
I was just saying the front office or the NBA league office probably noticed that too. Like, man, they're not really tanking. They just, just like what you said. It's like what you said, man. But the Pelicans just, I think it just has a lot more to do with the history of the organization. And the history of the organization, like, the Pelicans, man, really the whole Joe Dumars, I know we already talked about this, the whole situation with him is deja vu. And it's yet to be seen what he can do. That's the only difference about this, which that's way to be seen, because even with Joe Dumars being here, my stance has not changed. Because at this point, I want to see it.
Oh yeah.
I want to see it. I'm not going to, like, that's just like with Big Q when he was talking about with Willie Green. He was talking about last year, Willie Green has to change. I just step it up.
Change.
I was like, you know what? I'm not with Big Q because I want to see it. At this point, you got to show me. I don't want to hear you talk about it. I don't want to hear you whisper about it or anything like that. You got to show. You got to show the results. And he didn't show that. And it's like, dog, I'm not about to change my mind if I don't, because I've been stepping out. I've already stepped out on faith. I've tried stepping out on faith and trying to believe that this dude could get it done. And after I saw, it's like, okay, dude, you don't have it. You're not qualified. Not even for the cheap contract that you have. You're not qualified to be a coach. You don't have it. And this is what the organization has embraced. They've embraced not mediocrity. This is way below mediocrity. It's way below. You know, JJ Redick has never been a coach. This was his first year. Man, he shot up way past Willie Green. You know what I'm saying? Way past. That's just, yeah, this is just bad, man. This is bad, you know. Obviously you want to hope for the best and stuff, but
no, I'm not hoping for the best. I'm just laying out. I'm just giving a different perspective from yours. That's all. But it's horrible. The only positive thing I can say is, and that's, I want to see more, like you said, but I'm looking at it, I guess, from a possibly positive or possibly negative lens. I don't know what this front office is going to do. I don't know what they're capable of. Joe Dumars ran an organization, 10, 15 years ago? Like, I don't know. I don't know how this shit gonna look. But the odds are, it's not gonna look good. But I mean, Joe Dumars did run an organization in a different era, pick the team, actually put the players together, and won a championship without a superstar. So somebody who did that, I'm not gonna just count him out without at least giving it some type of chance. But if they keep Willie Green, we all know this season it's another lost season. Let's just be honest. If Willie Green is the coach, we just wasting another fucking year. No matter what they do, if they make it to the playoffs, it's still another wasted year. And I almost wouldn't want them to make it to the playoffs because I would be scared that they would extend Willie Green. So I get it. But as far as the construction of the team, who we draft, what we put together, all of that is still unknown. The fact that the Pels, like I said, are looking to go for Giannis, looking to go for Ja, and all of this, it indicates that they know they need to make some big moves. Will they get either of those players? Probably not. But the fact that they're trying and they're at least considering it is, I guess, a huge difference from what they used to do. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm not extremely optimistic about it. I'm trying to be slightly, because there is a level of unknown to this. You got Troy Weaver, who comes in here, who, if you look at his background, Troy Weaver is actually pretty good at drafting, so they say. Or if you want to give him credit for OKC, because he was over there, and a lot of people say he was the main reason that they drafted Russell Westbrook, because he was the main person pumping him home to them now. And you can look at some of the players he put with Detroit, which, if you don't want to give him credit for that, I understand, because they sucked. But Cade Cunningham, you would say, was a layup, but he did grab Jalen Duran. He did find, what's the little dude who won't fight all the time? Beef Stew. He did draft a Sar twin. All those picks look pretty solid. Jay Navi as well, good pick, but that's another one you can kind of say was a layup. And I'm just looking at what could be versus what can't be, because I don't know what's gonna be. But they, you gotta let them make some more moves, and that's right, Philly Phil. You gotta cry to keep from laughing. And I don't know what the hell you talking about, Stacey. My baby being in kindergarten. My baby gonna be homeschooled. Ain't got time for that shit. Well, yeah, Lex.
I'm here.
Go ahead and shoot down my optimism. Go ahead. Go ahead and shoot down that optimistic shit.
I said what I said, man. I've been saying what I've been saying since the beginning of the season. And, like I said, the confirmation is there. It's right there in front of us.
Yeah.
Because
oh my God.
It was going to be like a no-win situation. Pelicans ain't about to compete in the division because there's better teams, not just stars. I'm not just talking about just Zion. I'm talking about the team. They have better front courts. You know what I'm saying? They have better back courts. Now wings, maybe we can, give and take there, but golly, man. And then you have to also calculate in experience. Other teams have more experience than the Pelicans. And they have better coaching and a better coaching staff. You got to include that too.
Well, James Borrego is going, Lex. We got to open it.
That's not good enough. That's not good enough. Man, I'm tired of these mediocre moves, man. Who else is tired of mediocre moves?
They ain't make no moves yet. That's what I'm saying. They haven't made any moves.
Like probably just below because oh dang!
Damn, I hope that ain't good. Dang, Jason Tatum might have torn his Achilles. You sure, Jeffrey?
I thought they said it was his ankle.
That would be bad, man. That would be horrible.
Well,
Marlon said he happy they're keeping Bryce Graham. Lex, you care to comment?
Huh?
Marlon said he's happy they're keeping Bryce Graham. You care to comment?
Ain't nothing to comment about. Bryson Graham is a baby. We got a whole bunch of babies on this team. And remember I told you that before they made all these moves, Joe came in. One thing that I was saying is that like nobody looked good in the front office. And as you can see, look, you know how Big Q was talking about Swin Cash? She ain't there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that we thought
Swin decided to leave once they hired Troy Weaver because she was unsure of her direction with the team. So she decided to leave as well as James Borrego. So they didn't actually fire them. They actually decided to leave.
Okay, well that's fine. But you know what? They left in a bad situation because I didn't see their imprint. You know what I'm saying? So we can only assume that they really weren't doing it. And probably, left because, we ain't about to get that free paycheck for doing nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
now you don't know. But what you do know, the Pels have the 7-pick family, so we're gonna have to cope with this. That's probably the worst possible outcome of the season because at that rate, it makes you look at the sitting out Zion, the whole thing, just a complete fucking waste. Like they tanked for nothing. Well, not really, because even with Zion, we would have won probably another 10 games maybe if they wouldn't have held them out of those games that they did, maybe 5. So they still would have been in a similar situation. Probably would have wound up with the same pick. But we still got to watch it play out. I ain't selling no hope. I ain't got no optimism. 2%. Although you have to look at things negatively as well as optimistically. But I do understand when you're dealing with the Pelicans who have been perpetual fuck-ups. It's like, why look at anything positively? Because it's almost certain that they'll find a way to mess it up. this organization we have now, the prior organization, the one before that, like we haven't had any real success since Chris Paul. Well, no, you had the 1 year with AD when they had Rondo and DeMarcus Cousins didn't even play. Like he missed a large chunk of that season, and they were able to do a lot. And we decided to not bring back Rondo. It's like, why? What are we doing? It's so many times they do so many head scratching things. You would have to think at some point things would have to turn around, or at the very least, at least change. So they have presented some level of change in the front office. We're not sure if those changes will bring about winning. Although they say they are looking for a championship or to be championship contenders. So we gotta let this front office make some moves, see what they can do. We do have the number 7 pick. We have Indiana's pick next year. Not sure what that'll be worth. No, not Indiana. Is it Indiana or Toronto? I know we got the pick from Toronto, but I think it's Indiana's pick next year. We do own the rights to maybe 2 or 3 picks from Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken. So, and the Pels have all their own picks. So, with those level of first round picks, there's a move to be made. You know, the Pels can go after a certain big name player. You got to figure out the salary cap implications. I know before my man Stacy come in the chat try to remind me of that. But there's still multiple things they can do. The Pelicans can also, you know, draft with the number 7 pick. And we still have our do we have our second rounder this year? I think we might be. We got somebody else's second rounder or our own. I gotta check on that. But no second round pick, it looks a little more bleak. But if they do get somebody at 7, there's a chance that could be a very good player. Only time will tell. And I guess we just gotta hurry up and wait some more, y'all, because today was supposed to be a day of joy and jubilation. You know, so people would have wanted to be, especially after getting the great news about Derek Carr retiring and forfeiting $30 million to help the Saints. You know, everybody felt like we got this draft pick, man. Saints, New Orleans sports is back. You know, but the Pels still dragging their feet, and they're late to the party as usual. So anything else you would like to put out there, Lex, before we go ahead and wrap up? Or you got some more talking points you want to present?
No, I'm done, man. Ain't not much to say. Ain't not much to say at all. We just hurry up and wait.
Hurry up and wait.
But shoot, it's getting more and more at a distance. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, this is this stuff ain't right. This stuff ain't right.
It's not right. It is definitely not right, but it's what we got at this point. So, if they fire Willie Green, would that change everything? Would everybody be excited then?
I mean, that's a step. Like, it's like you got to do everything. Like, everything needs to be addressed. Like, even Gail Benson, she that chicken head need to go. She needs to go.
I know, but it ain't like we could fire the owner.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, because this cycle, like you said, it's a perpetuated effort of the organization, right?
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
She's the ringleader of all of it. Like, it has to be, it can't just be bits and pieces. Like, you have to get to the meat of the problem. And the meat of the problem, it's not just, it's the same thing with the medical staff, the training and performance staff. That needs work. The Pelicans need to get away from Ochsner. They've been a problem. And I only know about that because of you and Big Q, because you know what I'm saying? I listen to you guys. Ochsner is a problem.
Yeah, they're horrible.
They're not helping the medical department of these players at all. So to say that if you get rid of Willie, will that help? I mean, it's a little bit, but it's still not solving everything. And I feel like as a supporter, and just like with everybody else up in here, it's like, when can we have it all together? Like, put this thing all together. At some point in time, I mean, don't y'all feel like the supporters deserve that? Why do we have to experience just bits and pieces? Oh, well, we did this change. Aren't you happy? No, we ain't happy. Put it all together and stop half doing the job. Stop trying to cheat the supporters in what you need to do to build this whole thing up. Because doing it bits and pieces at a time, you're perpetuating a horrible cycle. This doesn't work. It doesn't work. And so you need to change the way that you're doing things. They're doing the same routine. And they think the supporters are idiots and stupid. It's like, dog, you've done this before. You hired a new VP and you told the VP to keep the coach that the last VP hired. No.
I'm going in
circles. You've done this before. This is crazy, man.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy because that's the definition of insanity. Keep doing the same old thing.
It's deja vu, and I think she's purposely doing that. Be like, all sales, because I don't think it's more so. Her focus is not on winning. Her focus is, how can I keep the cash flow coming in? Because this is my piggy bank. That's what she's thinking about. She ain't thinking about winning. I
don't think she's thinking about that, Lex. I don't think she's thinking about anything. I think it's a bunch of people running the team, and she's just a figurehead collecting the check.
She just wants to keep the money coming in.
Yeah.
Jay Black, what do you mean where'd JB go? Ain't you JB? Are you talking about yourself? That's different.
All right, and with that, I'm gonna go ahead and say, hopefully, go Pels.
Hopefully, go Pels. This just keeps getting better and better.
To be continued.
Yeah, to be continued.
To be continued.
Dun, dun, dun.
We'll be back with a show to, I guess, go over some draft selections. Now that we know where we stand in the draft, we can give a realistic outlook on who the Pels probably get if they don't include the pick in the trade. And with that, I'm gonna bid you guys a good night. Hopefully, go Pels, and we'll see y'all soon. Peace.
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the PRO Media Network. For all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that. Birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly die, I'm a Pelican forever.